Welcome back to Amka Kenya. The hashtag is Amka Kenya. Just before we get on with our discussion this morning, let's have a look at what the people are talking about.
Shift our gears to Thika Road, nikufahamisha hali ilivyo katika the amazing segment ya Right Check. Allow me to pause for you one more time. The question of the day this morning, we are asking you, be part of this amazing conversation on Instagram, kila mahali, TikTok and Twitter. Hashtag is Amka Kenya. Utuambie maoni yako ni yapi? How can IEBC guarantee free and fair election in the year 2027? Tuambie this morning, watching from Kisumu, Meru, Kaptembwa, all the 47 counties. Tuambie, how can IEBC guarantee free and fair election in the year 2027? Allow me just to sample some two feedback before we even go to the Thika Road. Nikufahamisha the real situation. I can see someone by the name Cox Levy this morning on Twitter says, IEBC must know that there is no option rather than taking us through free and fair election. As per the voters' will, because it is not a threat but a warning. Kenyans won't tolerate anything that will be said to be left and biased. Mzamaji, as you can see on your TV this morning, that is Coxie Levy just reacting to the question of the day this morning. Says one more time, IEBC must know that there is no option rather than taking us through a free and fair election as per the voters' will, because it is not a threat but a warning. Kenyans won't tolerate anything that will be said to be theft or bias. The second comment from the question of the day comes from Linda Gadoni, who says IEBC, all right, let's take a look at the second feedback from Linda Gadoni. Says IEBC should know that they are not doing Kenyans any favor. The election should be free and fair, otherwise we shall fight for the justice that they will deny us. Kenyans are tired and we want change through the ballot as we exercise our constitutional right. IEBC should not try rigging. That's a comment from Linda Gadoni. Alan Owino will be sampling more feedback later on. But now, let me just paint for you a picture on Thika Road. Kunakaja subiri mzamaji. This is a situation asubuhi ya leo katika barabara ya Thika mzamaji. Ni barabara ambayo inatumika na mamilioni wa Kenya kuelekea kazini. Haraka haraka nikwambie tu mambo si mabaya. Jam sio crazy sana, lakini some parts of Thika Road ndio jam imeanza kupile up asubuhi ya leo mzamaji. Lakini just in case unatumia hii barabara, ni kukufahamisha ya kwamba hakuna msongamano mkubwa katika barabara hii ya Thika Road. Ni barabara ambayo inatumika na Wakenya wengi sana mzamaji, and just to see some parts of it kuna jam, lakini some parts of it mambo yanasonga vizuri mzamaji. Just in case you're watching K24 this morning, tutumie feedback ukiwa na watch, tuambie mimi na watch from hii county na hii ndio situation ilivyo. Lakini hii ndio situation ilivyo katika barabara ya Thika Road. Msangamano si mkali sana, lakini we shall be updating you more on how situations ziko. Lakini pia be part of this amazing conversation. Tutumie picha, tutumie video, utufahamishe maeneo ambayo uko hali iko vipi, and then we shall be updating millions of Kenyans who are watching Amka Kenya. Ili kwa sababu maji niruhusu niweze kurusha upande wa pili Alan for the amazing conversation. Alan.
Very well. Thank you for that traffic update, Tony, right there. With the updates, remember the hashtag is Amka Kenya, where you get a head start. Now, in Politalks, we host a man who once held the Speaker's gavel and later joined the inner circle of President Trudeau's government. But somewhere along the way, he fell out of favor and now finds himself on the other side of power. From his days as Speaker of the National Assembly to his brief tenure as Attorney General, Justin Bidan Njoka Muturi has seen the inner workings of the state. But what happened with the Ruto government? And is he now crafting an opposition force for 2027? This is a conversation about betrayal, governance, and unfinished business in Kenya's political theater. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us this morning, Justice. Now, I want us to begin from a justice perspective, and because this is something that Kenyans are yearning for on a daily basis, especially those families that have lost people in the recent demonstrations. Just recently, you took oath of office as the chairperson of the People Restorative Justice Commission. This is a people-led initiative aimed at addressing these historical injustices. What would you say has been the progress so far, and what is the real idea behind this?
Thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers and to yourself. And wish to take this early opportunity to say that, Kenya's justice landscape is one that is riddled with a lot of missed steps. And part of the reason is because whereas perhaps people look at the criminal justice system to get justice, that in a very big way addresses one aspect, and I think it is not anybody's fault. I think it's a kind of a colonial heritage which emphasized more on punishment of the supposed criminal, and completely forgot about the victim. And therefore, we have, and I speak this again with knowledge, given that I am a person who has put in not less than 15 years in the judiciary, on the bench, at the lower ranks, where I began my public service career. So I look at our penal code and the criminal procedure code. It just prescribes this constitutes an offense. If you do this, it's an offense. This is the punishment. And this is the procedure that will be followed. You find it in what they call the CPC, the Criminal Procedure Code, Chapter 75 of the laws of Kenya. So the penal code prescribes what constitutes an offense, a crime. Many of the crimes in Kenya, you find them in the penal code. Of course, with the developments in the country, other laws have come in to prescribe other kind of offenses, whether the Traffic Act, for traffic offenses. Offenses, say, for instance, even in the business sector, there are other laws that prescribe, some crimes and penalties. But you find that the emphasis has always been on punishing the person who is found guilty. Very little to do with addressing the circumstances of the victim of the crime. And remember, there have been attempts at various commissions set up by government, way back, starting with the Kilikus, even the Goldenberg Commission, and even the inquiry, the UCO Commission, and several others, the TJRC. So, but at the end of the day, when you look through all this, where is the place of the victim?
The victim, okay.
Say, forced disappearances, post-election, violence victims. To date,
nothing has been done.
Other than some efforts which you have done, trying to see whether you could resettle people. The actual victims, other than just the displacement, the people went through trauma for which I think there should be some form of restoration.
Okay.
And then, of course, now fast forward, we have the Constitution of Kenya 2010. I think it's no longer new. 15 years down the road, almost. I think it's no longer new. But maybe, in contemporary terms, one can say it's new. Now, this Constitution makes a very, very, profound statement in Article 1 that sovereign power belongs to the people and provides how it is exercised. If it's not exercised properly by those to whom it is delegated, remember, it does not take away that the authority of the sovereign. The sovereign, therefore, becomes the principal. If you use the principle of agent and the principal. So the principal still retains the residual authority. Take back and say, no, we want to do something in a different way.
Okay.
That is what has informed the formation
Of this commission.
of the People's Restorative Justice Commission to try and see whether, quite apart, we are not saying that we don't deal with the crime, but quite apart from dealing with the crime, yes, but address the concerns which are major of the victims.
You talk about the concerns of the victim and the circumstances facing the victim. And when you are launching this commission, there's some sense of excitement that came to it, especially with those people who are affected by this recent demonstration. So from your explanation, I'm gathering that a big part of this commission is a long-term sort of effect, trying to put in policies, laws that will serve the victims. But when you speak to these people who've been affected directly, what do you tell them this commission has done for them today or will do for them tomorrow?
Let me say, we can only talk about the future.
Yeah.
Because we launched this commission on the 24th of June last month.
Yeah.
We are now in the process of working on modalities of setting up, the various infrastructure.
Yes.
The website, the portals, and setting up a secretariat, trying to design how it will look in terms of operations, because it will require quite some various segments
and structures.
Because as we collect evidence and information, we also want to make sure that people have confidence in that the information they are giving is being properly kept. So we have to be very to take great care to ensure that we preserve the confidentiality of the information that we get, so as not to compromise anybody's rights.
All right. Okay.
So it's a rights-based commission also, so that and even as we collect this information, some of it we don't mind. It can be people can choose to be anonymous. If they don't want to give their identities, it's okay.
Yeah.
Because we also intend to address the issue of memorization, keeping the memory of what has happened. The net effect, the net result would be, at the tail end, our intention is to bring healing.
Okay.
Healing, more particularly to the victims, whether they can feel healed with the process that happens. And in the long term, it begins as a non-governmental arrangement. But we foresee a situation whereby this should transform itself into a government policy. Remember, as we speak, there is what is called the victims fund, restoration fund, which has never been operationalized under the Victims Protection Act. There is a fund which is supposed to be set up there, but it has never been operationalized.
Okay.
But as we want to move in the direction that we begin in our own small ways from outside of government, so as to show government what needs to be done. Because if we do it well, I know it is also arising from the fact that I've been in government.
Yes.
Government tends to move rather slowly. If we take the private sector approach to doing things, it will show that, yes, in as much as there is need to punish, there is also need to address the plight of the victims. And do it also in a timeous way.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, just as you're working on this, as the opposition trying to deal with the victims, bring some sort of healing, a few days after the formation of this commission, it seems like the president and the head of state is taking 20 steps back. He gets onto a podium and orders police officers to shoot the leg and deal with the repercussions later. You go ahead and issue a statement, and I quote, you say, President Trudeau must immediately retract his statement and issue a public apology to the families of those killed and injured by police officers emboldened by his words. When you say he must apologize, days later, we are well over a week since that happened, he hasn't done so. From where you sit, from as somebody who's interacted with the president personally, did you genuinely believe he could apologize and retract his statement?
Well, I expect that if William Ruto is a person who has a conscience that pricks him, I'm saying if, because my interactions with him is that I think he's an extremely evil person.
Okay.
But his conscience should prick him that kind of statement which he uttered is so grave. It's like a cut branch order to police officers and other security agents to shoot. And you see, when you say shoot, and there are people being shot not for any known crimes, because we should be told this one was shot because he was found stealing or breaking into some place. Yeah? The people just shot on the streets. Innocent young kids shot in the comfort of their in their mother's sitting room, in their houses. I mean, you see, we are emboldening the security agents to actually completely disregard human life. And I think his statement was extremely reckless. And I mean, while still on this one, please allow me to also say this.
Yeah.
I found it again very, very, insensitive. In fact, callous for the CS Interior to complain about the bail terms being given to the people who are being taken to court. And I thought him as a lawyer, he ought to know that bail or bond is not a punishment. It is merely meant to secure the attendance of the person who is charged, attendance in court whenever they are required to appear. So also when you set up huge bail terms, you saw people the other day complaining in Thika, almost rioting.
Yes, this was just yesterday.
You're asking young kids to deposit 100,000 Kenya shillings, 30 or more than 30 of them. Where are they going to get that kind of money from? So you see, and I hope our judiciary should take cue from some of the more experienced ones. Bail, even if you grant those Kenyans free board and tell them we need you in court after every 14 days, they will come.
You've mentioned that incident in Thika, which was even where I was coming to, because we saw young people behind some sort of barricade crying, literally in tears, when they were about to be transferred from Thika law courts all the way to industrial area. And these are people that the DPP have put charges such as robbery with violence, and you're talking about those crazy charges that you're talking about in terms of bail and bond. Do you think there's an intentional move by the executive to see to it that the judicial system and this policing sector does this intentionally to stifle the efforts of this revolution, so to say?
I would have absolutely no doubts in suspecting that this is an effort by the executive to try and, always there's always some threat on the judiciary. And you see, that comment by the CS Interior about, and there was commenting that somebody has been granted a bail of 50,000 Kenya shillings. Indeed, even that is too much. Remember, and I would want to educate some of those people, even under the Prevention of Terrorism Act, which is being used now, misused actually, it is possible, it provides, and if they want, they can go and check even under on the interpretation, on the actual definition section of that act, where it begins, at the very beginning. Even with somebody charged under that act, can be taken to a police station, and the police can give you a bond, tell you, come, we are investigating you, come back after so so many days. If you cannot, if you have not completed your investigations within, because you must present a person, even under that act, to court within 24 hours, which is again the same thing which is in the Constitution. But even under that act, and imagine when the law was being enacted in 2012, people knew, you understand the issue of terrorism.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, here, these are innocent young Kenyans. So those provisions of that act in relation to the fact that it says you can, even the police can grant you a bond. You know the normal police bond?
Yeah.
Like the one, come appear tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, appear in court on Monday or something like that. It is there in that act. For somebody who is suspected of committing a terrorist act, it's provided there. So when now that complaint by the CS, I see it as having been directed to the judiciary by way of intimidation. It was a direct intimidation to the judiciary.
Yeah.
And you see, remember, some of the judicial officers are fairly young, junior.
Well,
they take, or they say, they know, so this is what the government wants. So they interpret that kind of situation. You see, immediately, Murkomen complained about the 50,000 cash bill. Now, what did we get in the other one? 100,000.
Yeah.
I only hope that the lawyers for those young kids will file an application either before the same judicial officer or in the High Court to review, because bail is not a punishment.
But
it is merely to secure the attendance.
Listen, the CS is a lawyer.
Yeah.
He should know this. What do you think is the problem with Murkomen? Do you think this job is too big for him?
I think, they say if you want to test a man, give them power. I think power has gotten into his head.
Yeah.
He's also, he's also a young man, fairly young also.
Yeah.
He's excited about the exercise of power. His behavior is, remember the guy who would walk around telling people, I don't know, the cost of a belt and things like those. So you can actually see there's also an element of childishness in him. And therefore, even the appointing authority, William Ruto himself, made a mistake in giving such an excitable youth the responsibility to head a docket as serious as Interior.
Was it a mistake or it was intentional?
It was a mistake. It was both a mistake and intentional.
Okay.
Because this one is a fairly excitable youth. Murkomen is very, very easily excitable, and you can see it in his behavior. So when you give him a serious docket as Interior, even you, the appointing authority, we must begin questioning your capacity at the leadership. Do you actually mean Kenya? Do you want Kenyans to be served properly? This is a very serious docket.
Yeah.
But William Ruto has not taken it with the seriousness that it deserves. It means a mature person. And he has many in his cabinet. It requires a lot of reflection. That's the statements you make. But of course, if he himself, remember even when Murkomen issued a statement at Kikuyu police station, when he was telling the police to shoot to kill, he said that what I'm saying is not just from me, it's from above. Indeed, subsequently, when William Ruto at the Kilimani police station, near Kilimani police station, at the function he was holding there, when those women who had been ferried in buses to come and cheer him, when he saw that they were cheering, he said those people should be shot. Then he realized they was making a mistake. He corrected himself. They should be shot on the legs.
All right.
You could see it. Even if you review that clip, you could see. He felt.
All right. Let's take a short break right here on Amka Kenya. When we get back, we continue with the conversation.